So you want to play a safe Chronomancer build that can upkeep almost any boon in the game permanently solo. You can do exactly that with this build. Today we're gonna take a look at this very fun Chronomancer build. Be sure to watch the whole video to not miss out on the very interesting intricacies that this build has going for it. So without much further ado, let's jump right in. So for gear, you want to run full ritualist. Very easy, full ritualist, trinkets, armor, weapons, very easy. On your rune, you want to run Rune of the Trapper, just for even more conditioned damage and duration. If you can afford infusions, you go for full condition infusions. But of course it's not necessary. Then you run Staff with Frailty and Bursting Sigil, as well as Scepter and Focus, as well again with Bursting and Frailty Sigil. Very easy. Again, every single thing is Ritualist. Ritualist gives us Vitality, Condition Damage Major, and Concentration and Expertise Minor. So it's very easy to upkeep all the boons because you have high boon duration and you have a lot of damage as well. The high Vitality that you can see over 30k just helps you sustain. It's just a lot of effective HP that you have, very good. For Relic, and now we get into the interesting part, we use Relic of Norris. This relic is normally not used at all in PvE. The reason is you gain a stack of Norris Hunger every interval when you remove boons from enemies. Typically that's not that strong, maybe on Necromancer, maybe on Spellbreaker, but other than that you don't remove a lot of boons, and typically PvE enemies don't have boons at all, so it doesn't work that way. You don't get the nice benefit. So what does it do when you remove 10 times boons? You get 10 stacks. So every time you remove a boon, you get a stack. When you get 10, you grow larger, deal more damage, take reduced damage, and the more important part, convert a percentage of outgoing damage into healing. You get a 15% damage to healing conversion. That's really, really good. It has an ICD of a quarter of a second. So that means whenever you remove boons, typically you get actually the stack. So how does it work? For that, we have to check out the traits. So let's go into traits. In the traits, we have Chaos, Illusions, and Chronomancer. So in Chaos, you get a lot of regeneration, you get Chaos Armor, which also helps you to get regeneration again. Then you get, when you have regeneration, which you have permanently, more concentration, more expertise, perfect. Whenever you cast your healing skill, you get the Lesser Chaos Storm, just nice Chaos Field or Ethereal Field, and a nice amount of CC as well. Then you get more condition damage, especially Valorant Staff, really good, perfect. And here important, that's the trait that gives you a lot of boons, like Stability permanently, Resistance a lot, and Fury, Vigor, Might permanently. So it's really, really strong when you spam your Shatter skills. Then you have Illusions. Illusions gives you more damage on your Shatter skills and recharge reduction to your Shatter skills. When your Phantasms become a clone, they refer their boons to you. And this is the trait that makes the Relic of Norris work, because this counts as you remove the boons. So whenever Phantasm despawns, it loses its boons and therefore you get one stack of the relic. With this build you have that happen a lot because you have a lot of Phantasms, all of them transfer their boons to you. Whenever it despawns, it gives you one stack. Phantasms spawn with quickness, that's how you can upkeep quickness very easily, because the Phantasms spawn with quickness, and whenever you summon on, you get quickness as well. But if it's done with its attack, which is very fast because of the quickness, it will also transfer the quickness back to you. So that's why you can upkeep quickness very easily on this build. And then Phantasms deal a lot of damage and they give you a lot of might. So you can easily upkeep might with those two traits. If you want to min-max, this trait gives you way more damage, but you lose access to quickness. At least in this very easy way of just summoning Phantasms. If you want to min-max, you can go for Celerity Sigil and, for example, also go for Arcane Thievery as a utility still, and then you can upkeep quickness anyway 100% and you get way more damage, but it's a little bit more brain power required to get that. You have to think about more, and this build is very straightforward. You don't really have to think about it at all. You just spam your skills and you can easily kill every single mob in the open world and even solo really hard bosses. So typically, this is totally fine. But if you want to go even stronger, you go with this. Then you have Chronomancer. You get access to your Continuum Shift. You get more damage on your Shatters. You get Alacrity when you shatter. That's really important because that's the main source of Alacrity. So always try to shatter with 3 clones up. You get some more movement speed. You get stronger Alacrity. That helps you just to get more value from your Alacrity. And then this is the important part here, Chrono Phantasma. Whenever you summon a Phantasm, it will not despawn the first time, but it will instead be resummoned. So that again triggers this trait and again triggers this trait. So summoning one Phantasm will give you twice the stacks of Norris, and it will also be giving you twice the quickness. As your staff Phantasms actually summon 2, you will have 4 Phantasms in the total that give you that. And so one skill will give you 4 Norris procs instantly. So this is really, really strong. Helps a lot with the boon upkeep and the might, and also the just very strong Norris proc. One very important thing to mention about Norris is that you have to, and this is really important, run some kind of transformation tonic. What do I mean by that? There are tonics like this miniature tonic that are just endless miniature tonic. You can easily get that from Lake Doric, for example, but there are way more, and the link is in the description below of every single tonic that you might be able to use for that. You have to use a transformation tonic. Reason for that is, while you are transformed in the Norris hunger state where you get a lot of value, you are not able to spawn Phantasms and clones. That's just a bug, and that of course completely negates this build. So you can circumvent that by using the transformation tonic, because then you don't get the real transformation, you only get the buff. So the miniature tonic overrides this buff that you would, or this transformation from the Relic of Norris, and you just get the buff, and that's what you're out for. So this is a little bit gimmicky. If you don't want to do that, you have to swap the Relic of Norek for Relic of Akim. This is also a viable option, but it will definitely make this build less sustainy and also less damagey in the end. One thing that I have to mention about the Endless Miniature Tonic is that this transformation will go away if you mount, if you teleport and that kind of stuff. So always keep an eye out if you engage before the fight. Do the transformation, check that. If you map swap, it's really important that you always have that up if you want to have the min-max of this build. Otherwise your illusions will not spawn and you will definitely waste it. So if you don't like that, like I said, go for Akim Relic. Worse, but more quality of life. Let's now quickly talk about the utility and healing skill. So healing skill is Signet of Ether always. It's really, really good. Passively heals you, but more importantly, if you activate it, you get a 100% recharge of your Phantasms. You should always use that on your Phantasmal Warlock. Really, really good because it gives you 2 more illusions, so to say. And it will also block the Lesser Chaos Storm. And Mirror Images, you can use it as a stun break, but more importantly, it will create 2 clones, so you have your shatters more efficient. And then you have Signet of Domination and Signet of Midnight, just for more damage, more expertise and more Condi damage. You can use them, this one for a stun break and this one for break bar damage, but I would say just keep them up, it's way better. You can swap out if you really need to, for example, like I said, for Arcane Theory, for get more quickness, for Blink, for more CC. You can also use a portal for whatever reason, you can use a block, and then I would use Gravity Well just for more CC. If you want to go for a single target CC, you can also go with more, but typically this CC is not required. You have a lot of other CCs like the Chaos Storm and your Shatters and stuff, so you have a lot of CC, you don't really have to min-max there. If you want to go for even more healing, you can also go for All's Well That Ends Well. That will give you some more heal here, but you only would use 1 well in that setup, so it's not that worth it. Typically the damage is better here. Use your Shatter skills of cooldown, especially when you have 3 illusions up. Of course, try to really do that with Rewinder because you get a lot of recharge reduction when you use it with 3 clones. And of course, use your Continuum Split as an aggressive tool to start the fight with, and then reset and do everything again just to do it get all your boons up and then do it. When it comes to Scepter, you have some nice block here. You can also just double tap it for even more confusion damage. You can, of course, use your 3 skill for even more damage. The 4 skill is just nice to see in the pull, so if you have adds, you can pull them in. The 5 skill, you can also use that and try to use it at least in your Chaos Storm, because it has some nice confusing procs with the World Finisher that it does. Other than that, the auto attack is really strong because the last hit will also create a clone, so you can easily spam all your skills very, very fast. When it comes to food and utility consumables, you have to go for Meaty Asparagus Skewers. It's the best option by far. 15% more increased torment duration and condition damage. It's really, really strong. And Tuning Icicles is just the best option. You get condition damage based on your expertise and precision. Perfect. And you get a lot of damage just by using those 2. So you can see in the background, it's the brain swapped off build. You just spam your illusions. You use your Continuum Shift, typically with the Ether Signet and your staff. And then you have every single boon and you just are unkillable mostly. And you have so much healing and so much damage output. This build can upkeep almost 30k DPS with the confusion if you know what you're doing. It's really, really strong. Be sure to give it a try if you're a Mesmer enjoyer. It's probably one of the best and at least one of the easiest solo builds that Mesmer has. So I hope you enjoyed this quick guide. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like that. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for all my support on YouTube, Twitch and Patreon. Thanks Timo, thanks Malas, and I hope to see you all in the next video.